Alrighty then. Welcome, guys, to the 36th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for October 27th. I definitely thought today was the 28th until this morning when I realized it was not.
I couldn't tell you what day it was.
Um,
Sort of blurred.
I had, after 2 weeks of just not doing it last night at like midnight, I was like, I'm going to do the Audio Surf 2 video.
Oh, right.
And then I did it and uploaded it and fucked up the scheduling because it was like October 28th. That's totally Sunday, but it was not.
Hmm.
So then I had to fix that. But that video is finally out. That's a game I really like. Audio Surf, super fun.
I have yet to play the first one. I still have my friend. I have it through his account, technically, through like the family sharing thing. But I played it one round of it, and I didn't understand it really. So
Well, there's a bunch of different like game types, and they're basically all puzzles that generate based off your music.
right.
Audio Surf 2 is not that at all.
Oh,
In Audio Surf 2, you're like wakeboarding, and it generates wakes based on the music. And then you like do huge jumps and pull tricks.
crazy. Didn't you say that was a mod for the first one?
No, it's not a mod for the first one. No.
Oh,
The second one has modding available for it. And so like people will put in the old game types as like mods for the game and like done crazy things with the skins.
hmm.
I've been working on a mod for that game for like months now, but I don't want
Is
to
it
talk about it.
is it pretty easy to mod?
No. But you can do anything you want. So like you have a lot of power.
Okay.
You can put in your own. You can like put in your own models and animations and textures and everything, and make lots of crazy stuff. Essentially, the only requirement is that you end up having to use their music engine for like generating tracks and stuff.
Right. Hmm.
So I've been doing stuff with that for like the last month and a half.
Yeah. Well, wait, that's been out for that long?
The game's in early access, so I mean it's still in alpha.
Okay, yeah, no. When does it actually release then?
There's no date,
Oh, yeah.
so whenever it comes out. But
Eventually.
I've been playing a ton of that because I love that game. I think it's really good. I think it's better than the first one already, even though it's not feature complete. And there's some graphical glitches and other problems, but I definitely prefer it to the first one.
That's good, but not just creating the same thing and something better.
What have you been playing this week?
Nothing. I played a little bit of Deus Ex. I bought the director's cut edition of it because it was like $5 for me because I have the DLC and the actual game. So I played a little bit of that, but I kind of got frustrated with it because my graphics card should be able to handle it, but I'm having issues with it. I looked online, and I don't. And I was only getting forums for the actual like Human Revolution, not the director's cut. But it seems to be the same problem where there's just like a little. It's not. It's lag because it's like it feels like frames are dropping almost, and like there's some stutter in it, and it's really frustrating because it doesn't feel fluid, and I'm just like I don't want to play this anymore. So
Is it that frames are dropping, or does the mouse feel weird? Does it feel like delayed?
no, it's not the delay of the mouse because I turned VSync off and then I turned that triple buffering off and that fixed that because that was really fucking annoying.
Because
But like,
on Windows 8 there was an update recently that fucked up the mouse.
oh no,
So,
I'm on 7 still.
oh,
My
then
my my laptop's on 8, but I don't really play on that much.
yeah, then it would have nothing to do with that because I know they just changed how the mouse drivers work on the OS, and so if you're not using raw input on your mouse, like if the game doesn't have raw input for the mouse, then it like lags the mouse behind, and the acceleration, and there's like really fucked up acceleration on it. It's like trying to play games on a Mac. It's just all like fucked up, and there's really weird mouse acceleration.
Yeah, it was. I don't know what it is. Maybe they'll release a patch. Maybe it'll just be like that forever. But I don't really remember it, the first one being like that. Because I played on lower settings, and I tweaked all my settings I could, and like looked at all the like guides I could to help out with that. And I couldn't find anything. So I'm gonna let it sit for a couple days and then check it out probably later this week.
So this week, I found out why I've been having terrible problems with Premiere and editing the podcast in it.
Like, you think you got it worked out then?
It's something that that's never going to be able to be fixed. So.
Oh. What is it, you know?
XSplit records at a variable frame rate, and Premiere can't play back at a variable frame rate.
Okay.
And that's what causes all of the audio drift. Because it will Premiere will just play the video back at 30 FPS, but there will be segments of the video that are like 12, and then over the hour, like, it just starts to drift, because when you hit those segments that are like 12 FPS, it's playing them at 30, which is like slightly more than double the FPS, and then it's in the wrong spot, but the audio keeps playing at the same speed, so...
Huh, that's annoying.
Yep, and it's something I'm never going to be able to fix.
There's no, like, way to sync that, like, there's no way to keep it...
I would have to pull the video from XSplit, put it into Vegas, re-render it all at 30 FPS, and then put it into Premiere and edit it.
Nope. That's a pain.
Fucking big old pain in the ass. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, which is edit the audio in Audition and render the video in Vegas. Yeah. Even though Vegas doesn't fucking work for GPU acceleration, so it takes 5 hours to render the goddamn podcast.
Ooh,
and in Premiere it takes like 20 minutes, and that's why I like to use Premiere. Also, I know how to use all the keyframes and shit in Premiere. Don't know how to in Vegas anymore. I used to, but I don't use it. I only use Premiere because it's the one that you really should be using. And now I just don't know what I'm doing. Also, Vegas gives me like a 5 gig file for the podcast, and Premiere's like 700 megabytes, okay. And it's like usually better looking.
Yeah.
Fucking Vegas.
Is it, is it only with your certain version of it? Or is it just
it's like like XSplit always records at a variable frame rate because it's for streaming.
Right.
And Premiere does not handle variable frame rate video. And every time that someone's like complains about it, some asshole on the internet's like, Premiere's for professionals, and professionals always record at a constant frame rate. It's like, you know how many fucking people do like video podcasts, and this is the way they do it because this is like the best solution for it and like the most professional way to do it? If you aren't going to have everyone in the same goddamn room, it's like, I fucking hate you. Shut your mouth. But whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm forever going to have this problem, and it ruins my workflow.
You ruin everything, Premiere.
Yeah. Get your shit together. It would be easier if XSplit would just start doing constant frame rate video recording for local recordings, not necessarily for streaming.
Right.
But they won't. So, also super disappointed because we were gonna have a guest this week.
Yeah.
Then they dropped out. So we're gonna try to get them on next week.
Stuff happens.
Shit happens. But we would have had like 5. Okay, here's the deal. I have enough people lined up that we could have had guests for like 6 weeks straight. It would have been fucking awesome.
That would have been pretty good.
But now we only did 2. So That's not as awesome.
Not as awesome. Still pretty awesome though.
Still pretty awesome. But there's some other big news from this week. One, we finally broke 100 subs on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll have some crazy cool effects play like.
I'm gonna do like a milestone video or something. I guess I don't know. Probably just make people mad, but I'm okay with that. I like to make people mad. It's my favorite thing.
That's what we live for.
But also we broke the top 80 in video game podcasts on Podomatic.
Whoa.
I think we're probably like 150 now again because we haven't really, obviously, like, we're recording the podcast for this week right now, and so like as we move further through the week we start dropping in rank just because we're getting like less downloads and views, because normally they all come like right at the beginning of the week. Well, not at the beginning beginning of the week because I released the podcast on Monday, but generally we like float around 100, and the last few weeks we've been like right in that top 80 position, so I'm hoping we can hold that.
Yeah.
And we broke top 9,000 on overall podcasts on Podomatic, which is good because there's like over 100,000 of them, and we'd never been in even the top 10,000. So
big milestones, big things are happening.
Yeah. When we put out the episode featuring Scarfulu, we jumped like 5,000 ranks in the overall podcast rank. It's like, yes. So we've been doing that, and I think this week I'm doing a stream on Thursday if I can get everything set up. I'm not sure if I'm going to stream Outlast all night with my friend, or if he's not going to come. I think I'm going to play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Alright.
Because that's my favorite game. And it's
I
Halloween.
Like, yeah, I was going to say,
vampires.
Like, why Thursday? That's a weird thing. Oh.
Play Halloween games.
Yeah.
They're not even really well, the ones actually aren't Halloween related at all. It's like there's vampires. It's like a role playing game. It's not even remotely scary. Except for like this one level. But we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
So besides that, I've been playing like all that other shit that happened and playing Audiosurf 2. I got a new phone a couple weeks ago, and I just like didn't bother to mention it, I guess. I got a Nexus 4 for like $15, which is pretty sick.
That's pretty damn cheap.
Yeah, especially because the plan that I'm on now is $15 a month cheaper than my old one.
Excellent.
So that's pretty awesome because I basically got a free phone, especially when I'm going from an HTC Desire, which is like a 5-year-old phone, and it is just awful at this point. It only has 1 gig of internal memory, and so by the time, and it can only run an older version of Android that can't put apps on the SD card, and so yeah,
so you can
like I had like Twitter on it and Winamp, and I kept running out of memory because Twitter would fill up too much and take up too much stuff. All 25 megabytes of it. Like Twitter, the app is like 9 megabytes, but then it like fills up with tweets. I could only use Twitter for like 3 days, and then I have to like wipe all the data off my phone.
Those struggles are now behind you, though.
They're really quickly approaching, though. I thought that I would be okay, but my phone only has 16 gigs of internal memory and no expandable SD card, which I'm not happy about. But you would think 16 gigs would be enough, but I'm already down to only a gig left.
Yeah, no, I think I have 32 on my phone, and I'm like, that would be good, but I fill it up pretty quick, so I kind of have to take music off and put other stuff on. And I'm really limited on what apps I have on there, so like, I don't use half of these, so...
I only have, like... The only apps that I downloaded pretty much are, like, a flashlight app to like turn on the LED for the camera.
The flash for it. So it's,
Yeah. Steam, Twitter, Facebook, because I'm gonna actually. I don't use Facebook, but I use the page management app.
Yeah.
When I'm like not at home. My BattleNet authenticator, which is like nothing, and then I put Knights of Pen and Paper on it, which is super awesome, but that's only like 20 megabytes.
Put the what on?
Knights of Pen and Paper. It's like a super awesome game. You're basically like 5 people. Well, you're like a group of people who are playing Dungeons and Dragons, basically. It's like turn-based. It's fun. I very much enjoy it. And I put Plants vs. Zombies 2 on it, and my phone's like pretty much full now. Plants vs. Zombie 2 was like pretty big. It's like 150 megabytes.
It's free too, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but it's shittier than the first game because it's free. Like, I would have way rather paid $5 and had the pacing be correct, but they ruined it to be free to play. So it's like, replay all of these levels to get stars, and you like can't get multiple stars at a time, and you have to use them to like unlock the paywalls, or you have to pay like $5, and it's just holy fuck. It takes so long to do anything. The pacing's just really bad. Do not like Plants vs. Zombies 2. Probably gonna delete it.
I think I had it on my phone for a couple minutes. I played like one game of it.
It's just, they've like, the first game, the one that's on PC, is really good for like a fuck around, let's waste 30 minutes of my time kind of game.
Right.
But this does that awfully because it just like doesn't respect your time at all. It's just like,
oh, you got lots of hours to put into this game.
It's like, we're gonna make you grind out stars because that's what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
And they charge too much to like skip the part where you have to grind out the stars. And you have to grind out fucking keys. I don't even know how you get keys. I think you just get them randomly. And you need them to like unlock these gates so that you can unlock new plant types.
What a bunch of loopholes. A bunch of hoops.
Yeah. Or you can buy keys. And it's like, I don't want to spend any money. Like, why wouldn't you let me just pay $10 for the game and have everything? Like, have a complete game. Do not like it.
So, free-to-play games are the best.
But then I started playing Path of Exile. Because that shit's released this week or last week.
So when we were playing it before, was that in beta then?
Yeah, it was an open beta.
Okay.
It's like out now, and there is a lot of new content. They have like guilds and stuff now, and
really,
they have a bunch of different leagues. I just made a new character in Nemesis League, which is like hardcore, and the monsters are harder.
Just like a difficulty then.
It's harder than the standard game, but also if your character dies, then like you get kicked out of the league.
Oh, what?
Yeah. Your character doesn't like. It's not permadeath. Your character comes back to life, but your character is no longer in the Nemesis League. Okay. And if you're in the Nemesis League, you get better gear.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I've been playing that, and it's super fun. And I'm like, because I'm in the Nemesis League, I'm taking like extra caution to build my character like correctly. Right. Unlike last time where I built a pure dexterity character, but I was like, I'm gonna dual wield, and then you needed int, and I'm like, I don't have any int, so I don't have any good weapons. and then my character died a lot. Now I'm like, I'm playing a pure dexterity character, and I'm gonna use the bow like I'm supposed to.
Yeah, that's the game where there's just a huge skill tree though, right?
Yeah.
So there's lots of room for error.
The huge passive tree that the second that you spend a point, you're permanently locked into it. Yep. The only thing, they reset a bunch of my characters though, like their passive trees, because they changed the characters too much that they needed to reset them. And so my character that's all fucked up, I can build correctly, but I don't have a bow for that character. So,
Hmm.
and I already have another character that's pure dexterity and using the bow because I wanted to be a Nemesis League. So, but the leagues are super cool. They reset, like they start and end at certain times in the year, so they're like 6 months long. And it's like you want to spend the 6 months doing like the best you can. And if you are at like the top of the league for points, then you get like a special T-shirt and stuff sent to you as
Oh,
like
really?
a prize.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah,
So that the game has microtransactions in it, wouldn't it? Because it's free to play.
yeah, it has microtransactions, but they're all like purely cosmetic.
Oh, okay. I like that style of
Yeah, like
microtransactions.
the craziest thing that they sell is that you can buy like a custom item, but
Like it looks different cosmetically, but it's the same.
it's no, you buy an item and they like make it, like you choose this, you help them choose the stats and stuff, but they don't put it on your character. Like it just becomes an item in the game.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it costs like $1,000. So
1,000 real dollars.
yeah,
Okay. That's
so it's not like everyone's just like fucking designing OP ass weapons. They're like, no, this is for like people who really just kind of want to donate,
yeah.
more or less.
Gives you more of a reason to donate. That's
And
cool.
so
Though.
then you get to have like a custom item in the game that you helped make.
You can show your friends, hey, I made this, but I don't actually have it.
Yeah, I'm not special. I'm not level 98 at a Nemesis League, so it didn't drop for me. But I've been playing that. That game's so good. It's one of my favorite games this year, without a doubt. I think it's like the proper successor to Diablo 2. Just mechanically and visually, like it's more of a successor than Torchlight 2. Definitely more so than Diablo 3. But like the reason why I see it as kind of like the true successor is most definitely graphically it looks like Diablo 2, not
Yeah.
like Torchlight. Like Torchlight looks nothing like Diablo.
Does Path of Exile stay pretty gloomy, dark, and
Yeah.
okay? Because that's the vibe I got from it.
It gets a little bit brighter in the second and third zones, cuz like the second zone is like it's a jungle, but then halfway through the zone you like block out the sun with magic by accident, and then it becomes permanently night.
Whoops.
And then the second zone is like in a Greek city kind of, and it's all like been destroyed and overran. So it's like yellow, but it's also like abandoned. So but you also go like into the sewers and stuff in the city, which are obviously dark and gloomy.
Yeah, because those probably shouldn't be very bright and happy.
But game's just really, really good. If you like Diablo 2, you should play Path of Exile. The only thing that's wrong with it is that it still has the desync issue.
The desync issue?
Yeah, your character like desyncs with the server, so when you attack, like the animation hits, and then it takes like a second or so to like register the hit and deal the damage. And like sometimes you like teleport a few feet because of the desyncing, like when it tries to resync with the server. Because it's kind of frustrating. But whatever. The game itself is really good, so I can deal with the desyncing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I played this week. Was like and wow, just like I killed Garrosh Hellscream this week. It was so then
Whoa.
I got the cinematic. Now the story's over. Now I don't know if I'm gonna play again next month.
Was that just from a patch, or was that from like some DLC?
The story's over from like the patch that made me want to come back and play it. So now I guess I'm done. Like I'm probably gonna cancel my sub because I'm done.
Hmm.
So yeah, that
That,
I killed Garrosh. I guess I'm done.
you are the best.
No, I didn't even kill him on like the hardest difficulty. I killed him on like the easiest one. I killed him in Raid Finder.
Oh, isn't that like basically your pub?
Yeah, but they make it easier so that you can actually pub it. I'm still not in a guild, so I don't have anyone to do like raids with.
Well, but I mean, you don't really. You kind of just started playing it again, so
Yeah, I keep getting invited to guilds, but I'm just like, I don't know you. Decline.
it's like random friend requests on Counter Strike. Hey, you did decent this match. I'm gonna add you. I don't know who the hell you are.
Except that it's not even like you did decent. I'm gonna add you. It's like I don't know who you are. We've never talked. We didn't even like do a quest together or do a dungeon or even a raid. But I'm level 15 and I wanted to start a guild and you're max level and you're like the only person who's max level on the server who's not in a guild. So I'm gonna fucking invite you, even though I'm on the whole other side of the realm. And it's like fuck off.
Is it that easy to find people like that?
Yeah, you can search through. There's like a list of people, and you can search for like guildless people, and then just invite them. It's,
That's,
if you know all the chat commands, you can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get like 20 invites a week, and I'm just like, this is too much. You have to be online to get a guild invite, so like. When I'm online, I'm pretty much being bombarded with invites because I'm only on for like 5 hours a week.
Yeah.
So, Jesus, what else happened this week? No, I guess that's it. Oh, I'm even closer to buying a 3DS. I'm so close.
Really?
Yeah, the 3DS XL. The store near me, the EB Games near me, has refurbished ones.
Oh man.
For $160. I was like, man.
How much are they usually?
100, 200. They're $200 for the XL and $170 for the regular one. But I can get a refurbished XL for slightly cheaper than a regular 3DS.
Might as well.
I know that if I wait till next month, though, I can get a new one for the same price or cheaper. Not even until next month, like 2 weeks. I just gotta hold out. I've gotta make it until shit goes on sale for Christmas.
It'll be soon.
Because then I get all those Club Nintendo points. I can get those sick chargers for the 3DS XL that they're giving away. Because I've got like 400 points right now, so I can get one of those sick 3DS XL chargers that are like, they've got like all the crazy colors, and you just like, they're like a cradle, so you just like put your XL like in it.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
I was just saying, like, chargers really aren't that cool.
it's not just it's like a charging cradle. It's not just like a fucking cord. I can get a green cord.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I mean, because those type of like those reward things are usually pretty stupid, but Nintendo's does seem to be pretty cool.
Yeah, the higher point ones, like the 400 points and higher ones, are actually pretty good. Like poster sets or like T-shirts, or at the end of this month on the 31st, so Thursday, they're gonna start doing the charging cradles, which I wonder how much those are gonna cost, but the charging cradle, given how many points I have now, it's like an incentive to spring for a 3DS XL instead of like a new one, because then you get like 400 points. So
yeah,
which would also put me into platinum for this year already. So that's good.
Damn. Wait, did you buy your Wii U this year, or was that last
I
year?
bought it last year. That's why I got platinum last year because I bought a Wii U and like 4 games for it, and it was like, well, here's like 800 points. Like, okay then, because I bought my Wii U when they were still like higher in point value. I think they're equivalent to the 3DS now. So, but I actually really like that rewards program because they don't give you total shit.
It's actually worth your time and money.
Yeah, unlike the Microsoft one where they're like, we give you a hat for your avatar that's worth 1 Microsoft point on your birthday. And like a 2% discount on Microsoft, like on like online store purchases.
Like, thanks, Microsoft.
I get 10% cash back with my fucking Wii U because I bought the deluxe one.
Ding.
Well, it's not like cash back, it's like store credit for the eShop. So if I buy like a $60 game, I get $6 back to like spend on stuff.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that for life. So
For life?
yeah.
How'd you buy the deluxe version? Was it way more expensive, or
No, it's like $50 more.
you could easily earn that back?
I already have.
Yeah, it's it. See,
I bought like a few games digitally. I buy like a lot of virtual console stuff with the credit back from like the AAAs that I buy.
yeah,
Because it's like I'll buy like a $60 game and then it's basically like you get enough credit back that for like another dollar you can buy like a SNES game.
it's not bad though.
So it's totally worth it. It's a fucking sick deal. So, do you want to jump into some of this news? Oh man, I wonder where this window's gonna open. We're gonna see. Oh, it opened not where I wanted it to.
Is it over my face?
Yeah, that rock paper shotgun articles all over your face.
Oh.
So, I guess the first thing that I'd like to talk about: 6 million Witchers. They've sold 6 million copies of The Witcher and Witcher 2.
Oh, what?
Like they've hit 6 million copies sold.
Wow.
Of the first 2 games, and they've, oh man, let's open up this crazy graphic. I forgot how big it is, but yeah. So they've sold 6 million copies between the first 2 games. The franchise is now 6 years old, so
It's a million copies a year.
yeah.
That's pretty insane.
And yeah, I'm stoked. There's been there's a really cool graphic that Eurogamer got given to like show everything. And so The Witcher had 3 endings. The Witcher 2 had 16. The Witcher 3 has 36.
Oh.
And then The Witcher 1 had 20,000 lines of dialogue. The Witcher 2 has 23,000. And The Witcher 3 has over 30,000 so far and counting. The Metascore for the Witcher 1 Enhanced Edition was 86, which is pretty good. The Witcher 2 got an 88. The Witcher 3 obviously doesn't have a score yet because it's not out. But yeah, I'm just really happy that the franchise is doing really well. Did you know that The Witcher 3 already has 79 awards?
No.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that a 2014 or a 2015 projected date?
2014. It's coming out next year, and I'm stoked for it. I'm excited. I want it real bad.
Yeah, Dude, no, you know what though? I haven't beat the second one yet. So
Beat it. It only takes 55 hours, according to the graphic. It doesn't take 55 hours. It takes like 20.
That's not bad. I can.
Apparently, there's 50 hours in the main story arc and 50 hours in side quests for The Witcher 3. So I hope you're ready for
No.
not having a life.
I was barely ready. I'm not even ready for the second one still.
Play it. You need to play it. But right now they're doing a contest on the Witcher site, where like you just have to leave a comment on a blog post that they made about why you love The Witcher, and they'll send you like they're choosing winners from that to send like T-shirts and posters and like medallions and stuff.
Ooh, that's sweet.
So I'm definitely gonna go write a comment this week.
No one else do that though.
Yeah,
Sure.
no one enter the contest so I can win. Or enter, win, and then just send me the stuff.
I feel like they would have pretty cool merch too. I'd like a poster. I've been trying
I
to get
wish
some.
that they would sell fucking merch for that game.
They don't?
They don't.
That's
Valve are like the only people who sell goddamn merchandise.
Or if you get
And
your
they sell
license
like all of the merchandise.
on- Well, Jinx isn't really like an actual developer, but
They sell stuff, but it's not. I don't like it. Like
No.
most of the stuff I don't like.
yeah.
But Valve fucking they sell so much. Okay, here's the thing, and maybe Valve will. Oh, dude, they have them back in stock. Okay, I'm buying them right now.
Pause the podcast.
They have. We're done. We're done with the podcast for this week. I have to go buy pint glasses off the Valve store. They have both of the Dota pints in stock, and I wanted to buy them. So
yeah.
I haven't checked in a while. I wonder if they're ever gonna get the one Portal 2 one back in stock, the 1940s pint glass. No, still sold out. But for $6, I can get the other one that's not nearly as cool. Or I can get
Not
the.
worth it.
I'm gonna obviously buy the Black Mesa one. I have to.
Yeah.
I'll even get the little. Yeah. Oh, what would Gordon Freeman do? But yeah, I guess that's what I'm doing right after the podcast today is buying 2 pint glasses.
You can always use more pint glasses.
Well, especially since I don't have any, so I mostly just drink out of bottles.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'd be cool to have like some gaming themed pint glasses for the podcast.
Yeah, it'd be appropriate.
Yeah. Then I wouldn't be. I mean, unless I was sponsored by the only company that I drink beer from, then there's not really a purpose to just drinking out of the bottle. So let's jump into the next kind of piece of news.
Jump.
So, did you read that article I sent you about Darkmatter?
Yes, about it being
Not done.
Yeah. Yes.
So Darkmatter got pulled earlier this week from Steam and from GOG. So the background of this game is that it was a game that had a Kickstarter.
Okay.
The Kickstarter failed.
Oh. I didn't know that. Read an article.
Yeah, so the Kickstarter failed. And so they released the game anyways. And people bought it because it looks like not a bad game. In fact, everything that I've heard about the game is that it isn't a bad game, except for that it's blatantly not done. Because you just like get to this point and it's like you can't move forwards anymore. There's just like an impossible pit to get over.
Oh, awesome.
And then you're like, there's a door here. So then you go through the door and then it's just like, you died. Like, you go through the door, the screen turns black, some white text comes up, and it just says, you died, basically. Like, that's the gist of it. It's like you went in, got attacked, and killed by a monster.
Wow.
And it just says it in white text.
That's fucking bad.
So it just, like, abruptly ends at, like, the 4-hour mark. You're like, game's done. And so the company that released it, they're like, but the company that released it, they're like, the game didn't get finished because we failed our Kickstarter. And they just, like, that's their first response. But then their second response was, but it's supposed to be episodic, and we're going to release another episode, even though there's nothing in this game that hinted at it being episodic, and nothing in the description for sale that has hinted at it being episodic.
Awesome.
Yeah, like, you can't do that. You can't just put up a game that's not done and then not say that it's not done.
By the way, no, because that's what Steam's put like early access and greenlight for. So use those.
Like, there is literally a tool for them to put the game up on Steam if the game isn't done. It's called early access. You put it up there, you get your few sales, you can maybe do some work. But they said, so the company that published it said that the game's going to be episodic and that they want to work on the new episode now. But then it turned out Game of Sutra found out from the people who actually developed the game, like to the point that it's at right now, is that they all got let go because of the failed Kickstarter. So there's no one to actually make the game. So it's not supposed to be episodic, and it's not being developed by the current developer. Or like the original, it's not being developed by the original developer.
It's different people. Wow. Is that kind of like where the story ends, though? Is that's all we know?
It's just like the story here is basically someone released an unfinished game and covered it up and released it on a lot of major retailers. And it did like reasonably well for sales.
I wonder if Steam will do anything.
I know GOG like refunded people all week and then pulled it down. Steam probably did the same thing. Because they pulled it down for not being done, but I'm assuming they gave out refunds. Because Steam will generally give out refunds if a game is like unplayably broken. Like they did for the War Z, they refunded everyone because that game wasn't done and was advertised as if it were. And this is very much the same thing that the War Z did. They released a game that was blatantly not finished and pretended like it was. And it bit them in the ass, and I bet they'll never sell another copy of Darkmatter ever again. Because how the fuck are you supposed to sell a game that's like been taken down from Steam?
Right, that's pretty hard.
Like it's not on Steam or GOG.
Do you use GOG that much?
Yeah. To get old games, because that's what they're for.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty tough to come back from that. So, but it sounds like if it's some completely different team building that game than like the DLC for it, then the episodes of it doesn't really seem to be going too far, anyways.
Yeah, it's probably done. I would be surprised if they bothered to finish it. So, I think I want to bring attention to another game. It's called Banished. It's like a city building survival game that I've been watching for months, and they just released a new trailer.
Banished?
Yeah, Banished. It's like you build a town or like a settlement, and It's about basically trying to survive. It's not about like keeping your people happy. It's about keeping them alive. And so it involves like building farms and like harvesting food and like hunting and stuff and getting them to do stuff and building shelters and then gathering enough resources to survive the winter.
Cool.
And like wolves will attack the town and stuff. But we're getting pretty close to that game's release. It doesn't have a firm release date, but it's supposed to be released late 2013. So, I mean, like a month and a half.
Yeah, they don't really have much more time.
So, but if you haven't looked at Banished, which is apparently nearly done according to the developer diaries, then you really should take a look at it now because it's one of the best looking games as far as I'm concerned, like for the rest of the year that are coming out. I think as a top-down game, the weather effects are amazing so far. Like, I'm really, really excited for this game because I love city builders and I love like management games.
Yeah. Maybe I can be one to actually pick up because I've been really looking for a game that's going to sink some time into that doesn't really like I can get on once in a while, but it's not really I have to like keep playing it. I don't have to.
Yeah. What Banished kind of reminds me of is like a good version of Towns.
Wasn't Towns pretty short? Or
yeah, it's just like you got to a point where your like town is invincible pretty quickly, and then it's like boring. But Banished, because of the weather being like such a huge effect, like you're never invincible because you finish the winter and like you're weak because you don't have any resources left and you might have to expand farther and shit like that. Towns is not like that. Towns is boring.
Never played that one.
But if you haven't checked out Banished yet, you should check that out because that is a game I'm pretty excited for.
Yeah, no, I should check out some trailers and stuff for it. Do you want to jump into the next one? I don't know if it's the last one.
I got a couple more here before we can do that one. So, Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed 4, their DLC is going to be 6 months exclusive for PlayStation.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 6 months. That's a long exclusivity period.
That's a really long time.
Yeah, like I'm surprised at the length of that. Cuz like Microsoft has very much a similar deal with Call of Duty, but it's for like 4 weeks. And they have a similar deal with Battlefield, but it's for like 2.5.
You know, a couple of weeks.
But 6 months? Like, shit.
That's a long ass time. But I'm thinking back to Skyrim. I know one of my friends had it for the PS3, and I think
but that's a different situation. That's not that the DLC is exclusive. They couldn't get it to work.
Oh, never mind.
That's why because the way that the hard drive works on the PlayStation, they basically ran out of space. Like they ran out of like memory to put the game in, and they couldn't fix the load times whenever they put in any of the DLC. So they're like, oh, we can't release it because we can't fix this problem. So that has nothing to do with the exclusivity period, and just the fact that the game, they just can't get it to work. So it just never got any of the DLC. But 6 months is a long ass time. Jesus.
Yeah, that's almost like to the period where you're done with that game. Are you really gonna come back and play the like?
Yeah, like you don't even want to play the DLC by the time that 6 months comes around. 6 months after the DLC's release, keep that in mind, which could be 3 months into the game's release already. So like, yeah, that's a long time. And I think this kind of ties in really well with what we talked about last week about how like Watch Dogs not being available at launch for the PS4 like hurts Sony's lineup more so than it hurts Microsoft's lineup. Because like Ubisoft has been working with Sony so closely on their for like the new as like a partner for the new system that, and I think this is like blatantly shows that.
Yeah.
If they're willing to do 6-month exclusivity periods on DLC, like Jesus. But I'm surprised. That's a really long time.
I feel like that's a lot of money they dumped into that too, though. Like it has to be. So that's just. I feel like that's at the point where they know that they basically own that game at that point.
Yeah, well, they basically own Assassin's Creed 4. Like, have you seen the cover art for the PS4 one? There's like a big sticker on it. It says only on PlayStation 4, 60 minutes of additional gameplay. So they already have exclusive DLC, like permanently exclusive DLC on it.
Way to go, Sony.
Yeah. I don't think I'm gonna buy. Well, I don't think I'm gonna buy Assassin's Creed 4 because it's the only one I've been interested in a really long time. Because pirates.
Because pirates, right?
But I might buy it just to like review it and say it was really boring. Because sadly, I think that's what's gonna happen.
That's too bad, though. I haven't. Maybe I did see a commercial for it or like a trailer for it. I don't follow that game too much, so I don't really know too much about it. But I've heard that they've kind of fallen off after the first couple, though. Like it's just a series they had to continue.
The first one was pretty good. It like showed a lot of promise, and then they just kind of stopped going down that path and didn't fix any of the things that I thought were wrong with the fourth one or with the first one. Instead, they made them way, way worse. Cause like you're an assassin who will just fucking walk up to a dude, stab him in the middle of the street, not stealthy like at all, run away and jump in a hay like a pile of hay. It's like assassin. Or you like go run up to a guy, stab him, and then just fight 30 guards by yourself. Kill all of them. Because you're an assassin.
Yeah. You fit the bill.
It's like, God. It's so not assassin-like at all. And that's why it sucks. So, more PS4 news. PlayStation finally announced their digital game sharing policy.
Yeah, I did. I saw that. Yeah, I didn't read over it, but
it's pretty interesting. It sounds a lot like Now, but maybe it'll work better. So basically, when you buy a game digitally, you register it on like your primary console, and anyone who plays on that console, regardless of what account they're on, they can play the game.
Right.
Like at any time. And then on like a secondary console, so like the second, third, fourth, 99th console that you downloaded on, you just have to be logged in your PSN to use the game.
That's pretty sweet.
I think that's how Xbox and PlayStation works now, but it's like more convoluted. There's like extra steps that are bullshit, but this sounds really fair, and I find it kind of interesting because Microsoft basically like scrapped all of their digital plans, and it seems like everyone else is picking them up and using them.
Hey, that was a really good idea.
So Steam took it and built it and did it entirely. But yeah, they announced that this week, which is, I'm surprised that we're still getting new information about the consoles because they're out in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, so you feel like all the information. I should know a lot about this console right now, but
yeah, It's like people pre-ordered without knowing anything. I'm really surprised they did that. Just spent a bunch of money that they don't necessarily have on things that they don't know anything about. It's like they don't consistently do that with every single fucking video game. But yeah, I'm still surprised that we're getting new shit being announced. It's like kind of major stuff. Also, we got some weird ass announcements over like the last week. Like PlayStation announced that their party chat outside of game is supports 8 people. So then Microsoft's like, our party chat supports 8 people. It's like, yeah, doesn't it currently support 8 people on the 360? It better support 8 people on the Xbox One. But yeah, that's just like sort of a weird announcement.
Yeah, they're probably just trying to duke it out to the last minute.
Yep, I guess so. Oh Jesus, I didn't realize how dark it is in this room now. That's what happens when I only have one light. I might as well not have a webcam. Jesus. I'm like blue, and the rest of my room is like orange, and it's like dark. It's like,
You gotta get those lights, man. You gotta get some more light bulbs.
yeah, I do need to get more light bulbs, but the socket for the light is like, it's an older one, so when I put newer light bulbs in it, they don't quite like fit right, and they burn out real fast, like in a month.
It's kind of, it almost sounds dangerous.
No, it's perfectly safe. It's just fucking weird. Okay, let's see if I can fix this. There we go. Fixed. I'm orange now, but I'm okay with that.
Nope. You know what? It's better than me and blue.
Yep. It's better than me being blue and the room being orange. Now we're all orange. So, Jesus, let's jump onto this last piece of news, I guess.
Okay.
Silly French Canadians. We don't like them for a reason. So, this week, the company behind Day One, Garry's incident, did something really, really stupid that I'm surprised anyone would do. Because no one does this. Sega doesn't do it. Nintendo doesn't do it. Capcom doesn't do it. EA doesn't do it. Activision doesn't do it. Random indies don't do it, except for this one, because they're like, he didn't like our broken game. So, Wild Game Studios, I think that's what they're called. But, they pulled down Total Biscuit's video on Day One Garry's incident because he criticized the game for being broken.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I can't believe someone would say that.
So
I just like that he showed that there was multiple other people that did the exact same thing he did.
Yep. So basically, Total Biscuit, if you don't know who he is, I'd be really surprised if you don't. Not you, but I mean people who are listening to this. He's a YouTube commentator who does critiques. He does like first impressions from a critical standpoint on games that are for PC that come out on Steam. Pretty much plays every single game that comes out on Steam that's actually like a new game. And so he played a game called Day One Garry's Incident, which is like a survival adventure first person game, which is a genre that exists that no one's ever done well. All of the games are shit. This one's especially shit because it's broken. It doesn't work like at all. It's probably one of the worst games that came out this year. And like at least that has any level of like publicity because it came out on Steam. So that right there is your publicity. Like it was released on Steam. Steam's a big deal. And so the game was awful. Total Biscuit said it was awful. And then they used the DMCA on YouTube, which is basically like if you are a copyright holder, you can use it to flag and pull down videos. and they pulled down his video, which is actually kind of illegal because they abuse the DMCA because editorial critiques are protected under copyright laws, fair use, and can be used for monetization. So, like, what he does is no different than what IGN does. Like, he plays a game, critiques it, and then, like, recommends whether or not you should play it. He doesn't do, like, a full-out review, but it's still a critique, and so it's protected under fair use. Like, IGN, if they buy a game with their own money, they can review it, put ads up on the website. That's how they make money. This is very much the same thing.
Right. It's the exact same thing, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it's weird that they targeted him, too. I mean, I can see why they did because of how many views he gets and how many subs he has, but I think your example of, like, IGN is such a good example because, like, that is how they exist. That if this wasn't true, then they couldn't exist. So it's just funny that they. What you remember what the announcement from the company was? That they, like, he doesn't have rights.
He doesn't have the right to monetize their work.
Right.
Which isn't like that's basically what they said, which isn't true, because even me, a person with, like, who gets 0 views on YouTube, I can monetize a review. I'm protected under fair use rights to do that in Canada and in the US and in the UK and pretty much everywhere else that has some level of, like, consumer protection. Like, fair use critiques are under fair use. Fucking end of story.
You can't really say much about that. But
I guess it's kind of worrying, at least for me, because, like, this is what I want to do, and I've had developers. There's a game called Air Mech. I was gonna do a second video on it when it came out, but the developer pissed me off because they, on their website, said that you can monetize their videos, and I did, and then they watched it. One of the developers complained in the comments section saying that I didn't get the video, even though that I didn't get the game. I feel like I most definitely did. I just didn't like it. It, like, pretty much watered down, like, real-time strategy games and MOBAs to a point where they were, like, both of the major aspects of the game were shit. And I said that, and then they copyright flagged me. I was like, you fucking bastards.
Wow.
So I'm never gonna talk kindly of that game ever, because that game was okay, but clearly that one dude on the development team is a cunt.
Whoa.
So
but did he not say, he wasn't actually saying, like, you don't have the right to do this, he just said that you didn't get the game? Like,
he said, like, in the comment section on the video, he said, like, that I obviously didn't understand the game and that I was lying about the game, even though I wasn't. Like,
well, that's a weird thing to accuse someone of doing.
And I, like, also made some legitimate complaints. I was like, this server selection screen is stupid because it's like a world map with checkpoint, like, with, like, checkboxes on it, and you, like, click what servers you want to play on. It's like, no, just break this into, like, regions. Like, I'm in North America, I can only play with North Americans, because the game had terrible lag problems, and by default put you on in all of the regional servers, even the ones in Japan. So, like, which is exactly why the lag was all fucked up. I was like, I bet that this game lags like a motherfucker, not because of the game or the servers, but just because people don't know that there's this menu that's hidden here that you have to turn off 9 out of the 10 servers on. And so, like, everyone in every single game was lagging like a motherfucker in, like, a terrible way. And I was like, they should just make this a way more obvious thing where you choose your region when you turn on the game for the first time, because this is silly shit. And, like, I made some legitimate complaints.
Right.
And then he commented on it, said I didn't understand the game and that I was lying And then well, I don't know that he specifically did it, but the company which made the game, which had on their website previously stated that anyone could monetize it, laid a copyright claim against me. So I have a copyright strike on my YouTube account, which means if I get 2 more, the channel gets closed down.
That's stuck on there?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's there forever. So, lucky me.
Yeah, seriously.
Because if you hit 3, then your account just gets closed. So.
Guess they don't fuck around.
And so, when stupid-ass indie developers do shit like this, it's not really dangerous to people like Total Biscuit because he has millions of subs and also is part of like a huge network. He's part of Polaris, which is part of Maker, who like just bought Blip, which is like a competitor to YouTube. Like, it's a huge network, fucking huge.
So he's got backing, so it's not really like...
Yeah, he has like legal, like a legal team behind him to help him. What the fuck am I gonna do? I got 2 more YouTube strikes, I'm done. Like, I can't do anything about that shit.
Yeah.
And we're finally gaining traction on the podcast.
So, Ryan,
after
don't
like
mess this
almost
up,
a
man.
year. I can't fuck this up. But yeah, like, no one else does this. Like, yeah, YouTube or Sega lays copyright strikes against Let's Plays on Shining Force. Well, Sega Japan, because they're bastards. Nintendo lays copyright claims on Let's Plays of Nintendo stuff too. Not reviews, but definitely Let's Plays.
Yeah.
Reviews get auto-flagged, but then you say it's a review, and then it gets pulled down because it's been fair use, and they don't like they don't lay a copyright strike against you. They just like auto-flag it, and you have to like dispute it, and then. But this guy, fucking
this small ass indie developer.
Yep. And the thing is that it's not even most of the people on the team who did that. It's probably just their president, whatever his name was.
What's his name? Unimportant, but
like the backlash from this has been huge. Like, people DDoSed their site, sent them angry emails, like hacked the site, bombarded them on Twitter and stuff.
wow.
Like, this company's never going to be able to make another game. They're going to have to like rename themselves in a year.
Go incognito. Didn't they formally apologize too?
Yeah, they did, and they pulled the copyright strike, but too
You
late.
you can't really undo that. You done goofed.
They done goofed. So, I guess, do you want to wrap this thing up? I'm almost done my beer, so.
It means it's about time.
Yeah, means it's about time, because I need to go grab another one immediately, or else I'll dissolve. I'll Hulk out. I'll be like, I'm out of beer! No! So, this has been the 36th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for October 27th. And I've been Ryan. He's been Tyler.
Yep.
And hopefully we'll have our guest on that was supposed to be on this week, next week, or someone else. We'll just have to see how it works out.
Yeah, wait and find out.
Yeah, wait and find out who it was. I was really disappointed too because I had questions for them because they live near me. Like, really near me. Like, really close.
It's his roommate.
It's my roommate, yeah. And my question was, why do you keep eating my food out of my fridge? Like, you're gonna pay me back for that, or?
Oh no.
That was that wasn't my question. They aren't my roommate. But thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys next week.